just gonna take a lot of longhand.
Well, say we thought it was recording, what do you need to do?
I'm doing audio, so it
Oh,
is
okay.
it is being recorded. So we are recording, we are just not doing video. Recording started at 6:02 PM.
All right. Call the meeting in Buck Creek Township Advisory Board to order at 6:02, you say?
Yes.
Pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. By the way, if I want to do it, I use 3, rank number 3. I use rank number 3.
They are?
Yeah, just in case somebody wants to know.
Just bring up the motion.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think everybody has met our newly appointed attorney. Is going to be attending either at or by either.
We'll be here.
Yeah, I'll just be here. Okay. David, is it Shackle?
Dan Shackle.
Dan Shackle.
Yes, sir.
Couldn't hardly read that there.
Put
Welcome
your glasses
aboard.
on, put your glasses on.
Yeah, no kidding. Welcome aboard.
Thank you very much, sir.
I think he has an assistant with him.
I asked Blaze to come. She's an associate in our office, and she's gonna be my backup, so if there's any meeting I can't attend for one reason or another, Blaze will likely be here.
Thank you.
You got anything you'd like to say before we get started or anything?
Well, I'm looking forward to working with you all. I live just across the Marion County border, 7 minutes from here. So I know this area of the world, and I am formerly the commissioner of the DLGF, and I was chief legal officer of the Indiana Bureau of Motor Vehicles, and I was at the Attorney General's office. I worked for the city of Indianapolis. I was in the Army, so pretty much my entire adult life has been in public service. And I still feel like I'm in public service doing this job because I get to work with all local governments. And so I really enjoy doing that. And anything that you guys need from a legal standpoint, I'm more than happy to assist you with.
I'm looking forward to it. I think it's something we've needed, so.
Sounds like you guys are moving in the right direction.
Okay, I do remember something in the email about the approval for September's minutes.
Yes.
Something about, something didn't record or you couldn't get it or something, and we need to add it.
The motion, I could not hear, and then the transcript was definitely incorrect of what the motion was last month. And I know you like for the motions to actually be fully typed out. So that's why because we made a motion to approve something last week or last month. I could not find it anywhere.
Was it the capital improvement plan?
Yeah, but there was the actual, yes. And I could not, it was not correct in the transcript, and I could not hear it through the video. So I know our minutes are correct except for that portion of the minutes. Thank you. Yeah.
I'm assuming that's the one we talked about, because I believe that was.
Yeah, that's it.
You remember seeing that? The transcript wasn't, it wouldn't
Thank you.
pick up for some reason.
Mm-mm.
So you can either accept those as amended, you can write it in, or you can retype it and you can accept it next month.
What would you guys prefer?
Just wait till next
Yeah,
month
we
when you make the amendments.
Yeah,
Okay, so,
supposed to make the amendments next month. That saves a lot of work, right?
okay.
The reason that the approval of the receipts and disbursements came up, that was one of the suggestions that came up from the audit, that they could see that the receipts and disbursements were included every month, but it was not written down, and we weren't signing off on any sheets. So we've either got to do one or the other or both, to make sure that you all see and know and approve the receipts and disbursements. So whichever or both.
That's in here,
So
right?
so that's why this is on here specifically. It's on the agenda this time, where it usually has just been kind of part of the board packet.
And that's what this is, right? All this,
Yep.
stapled to it. Well, we could really. So we're gonna do the minutes for next month, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you wanna do the receipts and disbursement real quick, or do you wanna?
Sure.
And we'll go through them and then we can sign off.
Is this something that could be done though, or is supposed to be done, or clarity please that this is to be done by the president? Like, was this something discussed like almost a year ago, where he's to come in and he's to review and then sign off?
They were saying in the audit, clarify please, that it needed to, it was obvious that it was being approved by the board, but that there was nothing that was signed off on, number one, and that to clarify and to make sure, because you're approving the minutes, and then you can approve the receipts and disbursements together, as long as that is on the agenda and the board stuff is approved at the board meeting, then, so either that orange sheet, or,
So the way I'm listening to you is it can be combined as one vote, but because we're not voting on the minutes, it's probably advisable to,
Board of Accounts is the mindset, right or wrong, it's the way auditors are trained. If they can't see it, it didn't happen. So if it's not typed up here, or you don't sign your name next to it, saying I've looked at it and approved it, it did not happen.
gotcha.
So all this is doing is providing tangible, documented evidence that you all were presented with the receipts and disbursements at your monthly board meeting.
Okay.
and those sheets, I mean, all of them have been, is in the back of the board packet.
Yeah. So if I got what he was saying, that he sees that we go over it each month, but nobody is actually signing it, saying we
We
did.
currently don't have a system in place for
Yeah.
someone to sign off on that, but we do have to show that it has been seen and reviewed by the board.
That's what I got from him, or from them that day.
And normally we could do that with the signing of the minutes, right? So it can be parallel,
I
or is
think
it a
it's
separate
All
document?
it has to do is just,
By virtue of being on the agenda, obviously,
Okay.
we went through the agenda as, in order that it's presented. Are there any, if there's any questions, we're happy to.
When I went through it, I didn't see anything blaring at us. It was out of normal. Did you two see anything that was blaring when you going through it?
You got this in your board packet, right? I mean, is any sending this?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it helpful to get it?
Yep.
It's hard to read, but yeah, I just go try and go through each page and see if there's a big glaring charge that,
The problem is, and I've always said this, if there are 4 disbursements for $500, it really doesn't catch your attention. But, 3 of them might be for self repair, and 1 of them is for pencils. The $500 for pencils ought to catch your attention, but you're not looking at that level of detail, you're just looking for large stuff, so it's, I'm not saying it's useless to look at that, but if you're just scanning it for, large items, it's not. I'm not sure you're gonna catch.
Well, sometimes I'll catch a name twice in a row, you know, but when you're going across, you'll say,
Sure.
well, they already paid them, why are they paying them again? And I realize that there's two buildings, so.
This is pretty normal for the number of transactions.
When we started, there were a lot of electronic transactions, and until I got my arms around everything, I wanted to touch it, I wanted to see it, I wanted to sign off on it, I wanted to approve it in office. Now we are moving toward where not where they take it out, but where we can push a payment for like utilities and some of that other stuff. We've moved toward that, but it's been after touching, feeling, signing off on all this stuff. So, but we do have a lot of transactions. The bank even says, you're a high volume customer. Yeah.
Just ask.
I would imagine 95% of the receipts
No, we
are
transfer.
EMS
Don't we
revenue.
have to vote on that?
And those go, I think I told you before, those go into a separate account. And then we just transfer, when that gets above 10,000 or something, we transfer that into our main account. So it keeps kind of the noise that happens inside of that medical account, which there's lots of, ins and, mostly ins, but every once in a while there's a correction where there's an out into that medical account. And so we use a third-party billing company, and they make arrangements for all of those deposits to be made. So then we reconcile that. It's easy to reconcile that when there's not everything else in the middle of it. And then just transfer that money into our main account.
Is that what all the transfers are at the bottom of this page?
Are they even dollar transfers?
Mhm.
Yes.
They're even dollar transfers.
So the bright orange form is what Kenny is going to be signing each time?
Correctional service.
Is there signatures for everybody on that?
No, it's just president.
Okay, yes. So when
And then there's a contractual service and medicals, that's,
when the
For all the
reconciliation is
contracts.
done, typically Abby does the reconciliation, so Jennifer and I keep all the receipts, give those to Abby, Abby does the reconciliation, comes back I run through the reconciliation and make sure that all of the receipts that we, are on there, and then, it needs a board signature as well.
the third party thing you're talking about, is that the company too that misses the checks?
That does what
That
with
missed the checks,
that,
that the state board of accounts was questioning?
that missed one?
Well, there was out of sequence or something was going
No,
on.
that
That's
was Tom's Web. That was the software that we
Yeah.
use for, accounting purposes. Yeah, no, MedBill has been amazing. We use the same, we used SiteGrounds before, and we've used them for like 20 years. Since the minute they became a company, we used them, and then they called on a Friday afternoon, actually sent an email on a Friday afternoon and said, yeah, at midnight on Sunday, we're out of business. I was like, 20 years worth of records, and so we scrambled. We had been considering switching anyway because of the, both the collection rate and also their fees and stuff, that there was a better option. And all of the surrounding used MedBill at the time, and so we switched from SiteGrounds to MedBill, kind of in a hurry because we had to, and then got all of our, ended up getting all of our records and stuff from SiteGrounds, but it's been they've been amazing. We don't do anything with EMS billing. They do it all. If somebody comes here, calls here for a question about their EMS bill, they have to call MedBill. So they do with all the collection stuff, all of any legal papers that come in regarding a person and their, a lawsuit regarding their medical bill or whatever, they deal with all that, so.
So Abby, you work for other townships as well? And do you do the reconciliation for them as well?
As I need it, yes.
Okay, and do you also do the resolutions for them as well?
Yep.
Okay.
Some of them we do accounting and bookkeeping for, some, I think a couple we do payrolls for, just depends on the needs.
the Gateway Hancock County Health, is that the contract that we're under?
What's the 2,400 or something?
2135.
That's a monthly, that we pay Gateway for their contract. That fluctuates based on the number of visits to the employee clinic, because we pay for the drugs that are dispensed out of the employee clinic. We pay for the visit to the employee clinic, and then like they offer OC Health, and there's a couple other things that are bundled up in the.
And when does that come for renewal or whatever? How you know that?
When does that one, I'm sorry?
Come for renewal or whatever, or renegotiate, or?
End of the year, first of the year?
Because I think you were probably on part of the conversation, but what I'm getting at is, we're talking about memberships for the firemen, for a gym. We have gyms at both firehouses. It's my understanding we're paying $55 per fireman for 32 of them. And I don't know what all 32 of them go.
Correct.
So
And
that's a
they're-
lot of money a month.
It was like 22 a month until they added the gym membership, and it's not an option whether we participate in that or not. So it went from 22 to 55.
I'd like to know how many firemen are really going.
I don't have we have asked for those reports, the utilization reports, and
Yeah,
I haven't seen those yet. Maybe Brandon has them, I don't know.
Those reports are automatically generated when you go? Or do you have to
We
manually
have
log?
asked for them monthly of how many people are using them.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't matter, I mean, we get charged 55 if one person goes, or, all of them go. The other thing that's wrapped up into that, we're talking to Gateway about doing the perf physicals, or no, not the perf physicals, sorry, the Ascension Health, St. V's physicals that we do every year. The firefighters get a full physical, blood work, et cetera, every year. And so Vernon and Sugar Creek are also talking to Gateway about possibly transitioning to them to do the physicals at a cheaper rate. There's a couple of problems that they're trying to solve. One is the psych eval piece of that physical. They don't really have anybody to do that. And then there was something else. What was the heart thing? The heart scan?
So this year, NFPA changed PERF has changed the requirements for a yearly physical, and they added a couple things to it. Greenfield has already went to Gateway, and that was the problem they had, is because they put him through the old process instead of the new one, so they had to redo some things. But they've got everything, I'm assuming now, except for, I guess, the MMPI, which is the psych eval part. But we don't do the psych eval unless you get hired. When we hire a new hire, that's when they do the psych eval. We don't do a psych evaluation every year.
I just have a hard time myself comprehending to spend 20-some thousand a year in gym memberships, and not everybody's using it. We can buy a lot of gym equipment and have a nice gym facility at both stations for that kind of money. I just thought maybe we could
The gym
look at-
membership is a piece of that. The employee benefit, or the employee clinic is, I think, the bigger benefit of that. Now, having said all
I
of
think
that,
you'd
I'm not
make a
trying to
pretty-
defend it against you, Kenny, because I
Yeah.
inherited this, and I was not, I
Yeah,
wasn't happy.
but that's what I
with
mean. We've been, 3 years, so there should be a new time to come up with this contract.
Yeah,
And
they're not budging.
I think you could,
You either use them or you don't use them, and so the employee clinic is the reason that we are using them.
well,
that
I think
we
you're a
have-
pretty good negotiator. I think you could go in there and get some
Well,
stuff done.
they will
but-
drop us. They don't need us. They've got everybody else in the county. All of the other fire
Yeah.
departments and the police department, everything, they're all on
Well,
this same.
I think they're handcuffing you if they say, well, you gotta do this in order to
You're
get it.
you're welcome to
So,
come negotiate. I tried.
Yeah.
I
when's the
came in
contract come
trying to
due
get
every
ours
time?
down from 22 or 23 a month, and they walked out, saying, well, now it's gonna be 55. So, it's like,
Yeah, I just think that's a lot per fireman.
it's a lot.
And
It's a lot.
How
In
many do you think
addition to,
goes,
we've
just a
got-
guess? Half,
No idea.
maybe not
They
even
don't
half.
go on shift, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, maybe not even half, but I think on shift, they'll use it more here.
They don't have a gym in our district.
No,
what's
the
this
gym
gym?
was in the
Yeah, the
station.
gym,
And the
the
gym?
gym was in
Oh,
this
and
facility.
The
I-
people working out here,
I
I
think,
would say 50% of the people work out.
I would say so too. I think there'd be more people use it here than they would, because really you either gotta go to New Pal or up to Cordsville,
or
right?
Greenfield.
Yeah, or Greenfield, in order to use it anyway.
If you'd like to be on those negotiations when that comes up, I'm happy to include you. I have not,
Yeah, I just, I
that's
think
a,
they're trying to
that is a
hand,
fire thing, and I let Brandon handle,
Yeah.
the fire piece of it. But like
Yeah.
I said, the other piece that is on the horizon for us is the physicals.
Yeah.
We've also been talking to them about, urine drug tests for when we have an accident. Because right now they're sending them up at
Concentra on,
Shadeland, or,
Shadeland, or if they're not open, we have to take people to Carmel.
that's where we do all of ours from.
yeah. So I guess
Brandon's.
there's a chain of custody for the urine piece of it. You guys know more about that than I do, but, so that's why they haven't picked up that piece exactly yet.
Well, if you can find out when the contract
Sure.
is coming due or
I
whatever.
think it's probably
Yeah.
even after the first year now that I think about it, because I drug my feet. Because of the 22 to the 55, I drug my feet a bit, so I think it was actually after the first year when that started, but I'll check.
Okay. All right. You guys see anything else in disbursements or anything? You can sign that and go on. You want me to sign this, is what you want? $14, isn't it? All right, what's next on the agenda? Maybe we're off track. Township attorney update, I think that's you, Mickey.
Yeah, I just obviously was gonna introduce Dan and Blaze to everybody, that happened. A recliner purchase for the fire department, if you want me to go through all of these before Abby does her thing, is that what you,
Yeah, she's gonna be the longest.
okay?
I always am.
The fire department requested new recliners to be paid for out of the auxiliary account. Since the activity around the auxiliary account, we're trying to kind of spend that down and dissolve that account. And so this was something that they all agreed on, the kind, the size, the whatever, that benefits everybody. It's their donation money, they can use that however they want. And so it ended up being like $12,000, and then it's like another $2,000 for shipping or something. So it took a good chunk out of that. The old recliners, they're gonna move some of them upstairs, they're gonna sell some of them for like $1 if somebody wants an old recliner to throw a towel on and, put out in their garage, over the ones that are still in okay shape. And then the other ones they're going to donate to the,
It's called ESEC. It is a training academy out in Wayne Township. So they use them for fire investigation, like the broken recliners that nobody would want. Donate them to them so they can do arson investigation, training burns. So that's what the really broken down recliners will be
the
going.
ones that aren't worth.
And
even
these hit
throwing in
over the
somebody's garage.
these hit over the 500 limit, so they gotta be assetted, right?
I-
They gotta go to put asset tags to them and everything else, so they go to the.
with the new ones,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Sure, absolutely. So that's just to let you know what's going on with the old recliners, the new recliners. I had included, I believe up there for, the official response to the audit report. I just wanted to let you know, Kenny came in and we had the exit interview for that, and my copy is somewhere. And so I did, send an official send an official, addendum that will go on the back, and Andy was there as well, sorry. An official addendum, the response that goes on to the back of the, audit report. There were only two things that came up, that are going to be public-worthy comments. One is a record of hours worked. They identified 3 different people. I believe 2 of them were full-time and 1 was part-time. They did not have signed timesheets, and that has been an issue, although not terribly common, but that they found the ones, and so there were not. The full-time is on the schedule, and if no one is called in to replace them, because of course we can't run short, so if no one is called in to replace them, they were not required to turn in a timesheet that says, yes, I was here every time that I was scheduled to do, so that was part of it. That whole system has been changed with First Due, and so now it's different. The employee signs off, right? The battalion signs off. It comes to Brandon, he runs a report, and enters it, and then it comes to me, to review all of that. So there's multiple steps in there now that people are looking and making sure that everything's signed off and everything, so this won't happen, anymore. This was 23 to 25. And then the second thing, there were some check sequencing errors that were, a software related, error that, some of those we caught, some of them we did not. And so that could very well happen again. As far as the software is concerned, we will try to be more diligent in catching those errors, as they come out, and you have to call, the, support line, and they have to get on and change your sequencing and all of that. It's kind of a big deal to do it, but anyway, we will be more diligent about, checking the check sequencing errors. The one thing that they said, and it doesn't matter, but that they didn't feel, and I can confirm that there was no like fraud, or there was no intent to change some things around so that things were missing, or everything was accounted for, it just was in the wrong order than
But they said they done 10 of them?
I'm
Was it
sorry?
10? What?
No, there were
5. No, they done 5 or 10 that they actually dug to make sure there was no fraud to them or anything, the checks.
Yeah, I think there were only 4 or 5 total. We had it happen again, twice this year, in which case, like I said, we had to call customer service, and they, got on the phone, they have to go into they have to get the programmer on the phone, and you have to get them reset everything, and so, anyway, they are aware that Tom's Web, that's a common, thing that has happened with Tom's Web, and so that was not a huge surprise to them, that's, those are the 2 things that they found, the records of hours worked and the check sequencing errors. Those are the only 2 comments that we had regarding the, audit. I am looking at, I'm getting paint quotes. We are probably looking at, interior and exterior, but I can't bite it all off at the same time, of course. The exterior paint, it is, doable, yet this year, at both stations. The total for exterior paint at both stations, is, less than $15,000. And then we have that in places in the budget, building maintenance, and, so anyway, I just wanted to give you a heads up that we're looking into that, and makes sense to get the outside done. If we can get that done this year, we can work on the inside, through the winter, or spring, or whenever, but, hopefully to get that. They're gonna do the bay doors in addition to all of the outside, exterior that needs to be painted.
15,000 for both
Both stations, exterior both stations,
per building or all together?
altogether, total, with all the bay doors too.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well, I I guess we gotta go with that now.
You're totally avoiding me, aren't you?
No, not
A little
avoiding.
bit. Okay, would you like to start with the budget, or I need you to sign a petition for the excess levy appeals?
Did you get that straightened out? The form, that form number, whatever it was, or something? You had to submit for capital improvements, wasn't that it?
Yes,
So it's all taken care of?
yeah, we had to do it. You had to sign off on it by September 30th, but we filed it, I filed it the next day after you
Oh,
signed
I was
off
thinking,
on it.
I thought they said something about there's some form that you had to redo or something. I thought, was that one of the emails?
The Form 1, I corrected.
Yeah, there we go, Form 1.
Yeah, you had asked me to switch some funds between financial services
Financial
and legal,
and
and I
legal.
made that adjustment for you. And
Yeah.
I went ahead and updated it in the Form 1. So what you approved tonight is what you actually wanted. I don't have to go back and make a correction and ask you to reapprove it.
Okay.
But the excess levy appeal is for the assessed value growth. Both the township fire levy and the civil levy are eligible this year. And this, right now, this is the last year that it is eligible for us to apply. Now, this is a permanent appeal, so what we're asking for is permission, your all's permission to apply for this, to generate $5,650 more in the civil levy to be split across the general fund, recreation fund, and assistance fund, and an additional $350,000 for the township fire and EMS. And once again, this is a permanent appeal, so it will go forward every year. We just can't apply for more next year.
So is this reaching our maximum?
We are requesting permission from the state to exceed your maximum levy by those dollar amounts. Because the township's 3-year average assessed value growth exceeds the state's 3-year average assessed growth by more than 2%.
Like 6 or 8 or 9%.
Oh, we'd be stupid not to, wouldn't we?
What is that? There was one word I was listening to. Say it again, Abby. What were you, okay, request, and this is for continual, year after year?
Yes.
Is that because we're concerned that they're not gonna allow it again after this year?
Well, they are not. They have.
Okay, so that's why we're requesting for this point on.
So we've done this, but this is the 3rd year in a row we've actually applied for this.
Yeah.
Because your growth continues to be
Mm-hmm.
way more than the state's. This is just the last year we can do it, so at this point, there's no harm in trying to do it.
Okay.
The worst the state will do is tell us no, and we'll stick with the maximum levy you have.
What does this mean to the taxpayer?
There will be I don't know exactly, I have not done the exact math, but because you're assessed, it's a seesaw, as your AV goes up, your tax rate will go down, but because we are asking for a little bit more levy, your tax rate may go up, but depending on how high your AV has, it might just counterbalance and maintain a level. Plus, majority of your taxpayers are, the homeowners are capped at a 1%, so even if we skyrocket your tax rate if we're allowed, they're capped at 1% anyway.
It's your farmers?
Farmers are 2%.
Yes.
Thank
You can
you.
generally.
You're welcome. Glad we could support you guys.
Schools and counties typically have the highest tax rate that does the most of that, but
Yeah, you're gonna make millions this year, right?
We're not making a dime this
so
year.
you can reach out to.
It all sounds
colleges.
very
Anything else?
familiar.
Yeah.
You okay with
Well, they
that?
put October 21st as the due date.
They did, I saw that.
Make sure you send it.
And so there's some confusion in our office on, do we have until the 21st or do we have until the 20th?
I will tell you that the sooner you get them to GLTF, the better.
Yes. I
I
asked,
signed currently.
well, I asked Anna and Ryan and I have not heard back, so I don't know if they even have a good answer.
Those are the people to ask.
Yep.
We tabled that for next week.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, they're gonna be inundated with these this
I
year.
have 16
You still wanna
to
see,
file.
you still wanna sign it?
Last year, we had
Might as well then.
near
Just
100,
table it.
and I bet you they have 150 this year.
Easily.
Then
everybody I've talked to.
Because there were 400 and some that were eligible for 3-year growth last year and only 75.
Let's see, that's the one you want. That's the
Yes.
I
one.
think our 3-year growth rate was like 13.6% or something.
A
Yeah,
lot
so
of the
it's,
donut county, especially the units that are near Marion County, are really just all across the board going nuts.
Believe it or not, we have 3 extension of services appeals to file this year. I have never had more than one.
For new territory?
One's a district expansion, one is,
The original.
a town used to provide fire protection to unincorporated, but now the township has to. And then someone's providing ambulance services instead of a private ambulance company.
Generator.
I'm like, you guys are really,
Can
really
I-
trying for the last year.
Since you brought that up, can I bring something up while we're talking about ambulance services? Did you see that the county is just approved like a $97,000,
it's 90.
90,
90.
not to
90,000?
exceed 90,000.
Yeah.
It's just because what happened was, I know where, sorry, I mean,
Go ahead,
perhaps
go
I know
ahead.
where you're going with this. The EMS services are no longer, they're not required by the townships, they are a required service at the county level, which that's new, right, Adam?
I don't know.
And so anyway, now they're scrambling because as townships are grasping at all kinds of different service options, they may get stuck with all the EMS. So now they're flipping, and so that's for a study to do it. There were they had a couple of people that put in for the RFP for that study, and so but they have not awarded it yet. So it's it's
Mine-
interesting because the other piece of that is if in fact it looks as if maybe not that the state wants to get rid of townships at some point. Well, what do you do with fire service?
Yeah.
And because they capped territories, now you got a much bigger problem because the fire can't even kind of help themselves
Yeah.
by forming territories. So then you're pushed into a district which is county led, and so they're trying to get ahead of figuring out
Trying
what
to
we
get ahead
would
of
look like.
Like Green Township, Brown, all them were, their tax levy is cheap because of fire services, but they're
But
not
the
being
problem
paid.
with a district, the way that I understand it, and anybody who knows more about this than I do, please speak up, is that all of the participating units in a district, which is countywide, which would mean, Shirley, little, Shirley
Yeah.
Fire Department and everything, the way that I understand it is that the minimum wages have to be that of the highest paid of the participating. So Sugar Creek's sitting at 87 or something. So now you've got Shirley Volunteer Fire Department.
Oh,
But, so then how do you pay for that? I mean,
Yeah.
so that brings up a whole nother thing. Yes, they haven't been, their tax rate isn't very high, their fire levy isn't very high, but they're also not paying very much. So then, if you get this lumped into a district, I mean, it's a big fat mess, in my opinion.
And if they do it with townships, the county's gonna have to have paid firemen in all these districts, somewhere.
And who, like the buildings are all township owned,
Yeah.
the equipment is township owned, so what do you do with, the assets, shifting the assets? If we're paying a loan on a building or a piece of equipment or something, now does that go to the county to pay? There's lots of,
A district becomes its own separate entity, but it's considered a binding unit that has to report to and have everything approved by the county. So the county council approves a district's budget, any additional appropriations. They're actually the ones that have to sign off on this. There's Johnson County and Vigo County have so many that their budget adoption and budget public hearings take a while because they have to go through each fire protection district in their
I
own.
wanna say Bloomington. 'Cause our district-
Bloomington
our district
consolidated
down
to a
there, they
single.
They consolidated. 'Cause-
Monroe County is fire district,
Yeah.
except for the city of Bloomington, and then Allen County is that's, the way I'm understanding it is that's the models they're going off of.
Yeah.
If they're gonna do it, is Monroe County and Allen County.
I believe they're encouraging Vigo to start consolidating some of the smaller districts
Yeah.
together.
Well, we'll see. I guess we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, lots of changes.
I tell you,
And they could.
you
they
gotta
could-
pack your office up, I'll let you know, I
That's
guess.
all right. They could also change legislation next session and change that all around
Yeah.
again. Who knows?
Budget?
Yep.
Thank you.
So I have the Form 4, which I will need you to sign yes, no, or abstain. The Form 4, which the state cares about, you have each particular fund, the total adopting budget, which is what the state
No.
considers. Your adopted tax levy and your adopted tax rate. I will tell you, this might scare you and look very high. The state, as your attorney can say, will always decrease it, they will not increase it. So, we always estimate high on your levy and your rate, because the state will decrease it for us. They will not ever give you more money than what you ask for, though. So, most of these numbers will, on your 1782 notice or your budget approval, will say rate reduced due to assessed valuation.
So when it goes to state board of accounts or whatever,
DLGF, yes.
yeah.
So all of this is rounded up. But this is the most that you will be able to spend, or the township will be able to spend out of each fund without requesting an additional appropriation. The mortgage is going away because the last payment is due in December.
We got another one coming, right?
This is the bond. And
It's gonna replace that. I mean, that's
Yes.
pretty much what we discussed when we
Yeah.
first started.
yes, Garrett House's group made that so that payments were
gonna go.
pretty much the same.
What do you think?
I think these numbers represent what we discussed the last
Yeah.
time,
Yes.
is it not?
Yep,
Yes.
That's exactly what I thought it was.
This should be the exact same total. Mickey, Brandon, and I worked together to make sure that is accurate.
Because originally there was,
Yes, and then the Form 1s, I changed a few things, and so everything matches the spreadsheet you guys were provided last week. And then we do have 2 boxes down here. You are not anticipating on issuing any more debt, and you are not anticipating filing a shortfall appeal.
We need to check those.
I already did for you.
yeah.
Okay.
We'd have to advertise a shortfall appeal, and we didn't.
And it kicks your budget certification out to January 15th.
Yes, that, they don't like it when you do a shortfall appeal.
And for what it's worth, it's within the whole county,
Yeah,
so it would kick the whole county out. And somebody in the county is.
oh yeah, probably the county or Greenfield will do it. See, I wasn't too bad today, was I?
No, I guess not. So that's basically the budget, right?
Yes. That is the budget.
You didn't sneak something in there, did you?
No, I do need you to check a box, please.
Oh,
I'll make sure you didn't sneak something in there.
No, thought I snuck something in there.
All righty. Well, that was easy.
No, Chris?
No, Chris?
Okay.
Chris is no longer our union vice president. He moved up to the county's union president. So Phil Spencer will be our district vice president, and he just started that, so he's gonna work on that and present it at a later date, I guess.
okay.
So we don't have to worry about any of that.
We're not discussing anything with what was requested then? Is that what I'm hearing? Wait until further notice? Sounds like a great plan.
Yeah. That's a good thing.
I forgot to tell you the trust Indiana, you want to hear what that is? To date, since April, interest, we have earned $96,579.71.
And what have we paid, or what have we?
We've got 5.5 in there.
Okay,
We are going to need to take the amount of rainy day out for all of the expenses that we had in July. We're taking, there's $175,000 in there, and we will be, I have to take it back from Trust Indiana, put it in the budget, we have to appropriate it, correct?
Yes.
For that money to be spent, isn't that one of the ones that is subject to the 30%?
Yes. So we will probably be requesting an additional appropriation either in your November or December meeting.
If we didn't spend that money and had money left in there, it would be subject to the 30% that we have to send to the county for the works.
We paid up front on one of the trucks, right, but they didn't cash the check, right? So that money's just sitting, or is that right?
They,
One truck, what was the deal? If we
Paid up
paid,
front for what, I'm sorry?
we paid up for one of the fire trucks.
The engine, we paid in full for the
Yeah.
engine. We saved like $42,000 by paying
Yeah.
in full. The ladder has not been paid for, it's 1.7, and then there's about another $100,000 worth of hand tools and stuff that will be on the ladder and the engine. That will be, probably will be ordering some of that starting fairly soon, to get it in, because the ladder will be
Yeah.
here in April.
On the apron.
We're talking about starting next month to start ordering stuff just for the time for shipment and everything. We go just November 17th, myself and then the truck spec committee will be going to Michigan to inspect the chassis. Then after that gets signed off, it will go to Snyder, Nebraska to have the box and the ladder built. And they're looking to have it done by end of April, so they can have it at the FDIC convention.
Okay, so
So
there's an
That's
ulterior
what they
motive.
try to kind of get done. Usually tries to do that when they get it right. And then the ladder, I haven't heard anything on the chassis inspection for that, so. Or the engine, sorry,
Engine.
haven't heard on that, so it's probably 4 or 5 months behind the ladder, so.
I
So,
think it was, when we
No.
ordered it, it was 100 days
It's yeah,
more.
more than the ladder.
Yeah.
so we're talking 1,700, so 1,800, right?
Mhm.
Out of 5.
Well, the bond was for 3, and we
Yeah.
already spent almost $1 million out of that for the engine.
Engine.
And then that will be another 1.8, that's our bond.
The Trust
Okay.
Indiana account includes funds from the rainy day, the firefighting fund, and the township general fund. So that's why there's $5 million.
What we tried to do is invest as much as we could, knowing that we can get money back out in 24 hours if we needed it. And so the rainy day is one that we're gonna need that, when the ladder comes due, obviously, or when they're starting to order equipment for the ladder ahead of that. Then we will take some of that, cash out some of that money in. So we're sitting as rich as we're going to be, in Trust Indiana right now, for a while. We will get, November, property tax distribution, which should be about $2 million.
In December.
Oh, December.
They pay November. People pay November. You get it.
Distributed December, okay. So there'll be some money kind of going in and out of Trust Indiana, for all of those transactions.
Sounds great.
Okay.
Is there any old business?
Do you, amongst the three of you, want to talk together about union contract stuff? You all can discuss it here, you can't discuss it on your own.
Can that be an executive session?
Yeah,
Union stuff that they're gonna be asking for, or the,
Yeah, I believe that can be an executive session.
I think that would be a proper executive session.
I do too.
Well, you can stop this one and start an executive session if that's what
You
you want
wanna
to
do
do.
that?
You don't have to talk about it tonight, it doesn't matter. The problem is that they're gonna be under a pretty tight turnaround, their fault, but they have to get it to international, to get it reviewed and then get back. We have to pass it, you have to pass it, then it has to go off to international, and then it has to be enforced by December or January 1st. Or, correct me if I'm wrong, the current contract stays in force, in which case their increase does not go into effect January 1st. So that's their urgency on that.
Their
So I just
pay
wanna make-
increase,
What's that?
are you saying their pay increase, their 3%?
Correct.
That will not go into effect if they don't get it taken care of?
Correct.
Okay.
And that's being held up at International? as
No,
opposed
it's,
to-
they're waiting on, they have to bring the contract to you.
Oh,
Those
okay.
things have to be
But they-
discussed.
but they haven't-
Then it has to
okay.
go off to international, is my understanding, right?
No clue.
Okay.
I don't
In my
wanna speak on
understanding,
something
they
I
don't have-
know enough about.
Everything they ask for don't have to be you can,
Absolutely.
Cut
Matter of
and
fact,
jump.
so here, just so you know kind of what happened, I had a conversation with Chris and said that based on your email responses,
Mhm.
that this isn't gonna fly, this needs to be changed, whatever. So I had those conversations and my opinion of how that conversation went was, okay, yeah, and I wasn't even writing anything down, so I thought, well, I'll just send him a letter, an email that's, right, puts out exactly what we had discussed, make sure that he knows exactly, so that, because he wasn't taking notes, he didn't know, and so the email that I got back immediately was from Phil, not from Chris, that, I just got thrown in this position, we're not gonna ramrod this, union contract through the board, we're in the middle of negotiations, and I'm like, okay, well, Chris is the one that put himself on the agenda, so I thought that's where we were going, I was trying to get ahead of that, and so now I'm the bad guy for trying to,
No, he made it very clear that he was gonna come with the new president and he was
Yeah.
gonna meet and talk with us. So no, we're good.
yeah.
Okay.
fair, the point that I was trying to make is you all
We need to have a discussion.
You all need to have a discussion
Yeah, I
about
think
that and
so.
what exactly you want to do with
I
those.
don't know what all they're gonna ask for yet,
We have a just idea.
yeah.
Yeah.
I have the list, I mean,
I think you sent it in an email, I can get it pulled up. Correct?
yes,
Okay.
And yes, you can do an executive session for collective bargaining.
Is that limited to where it's just you, the board, and Mickey, to where we can't be here?
The board can invite anybody
Okay.
that they'd like,
Okay.
and then ask them to excuse themselves if they want to have conversations outside of that. You just can't talk about any topics that aren't on the agenda.
Yeah, and you can't decide or make like a
You
motion.
can't take final
Yeah.
action.
You need this
and
adoption of
the
capital
recording
improvement.
just has to be that this was discussed, not exactly,
That's correct, not the details.
This is resolution pursuant to Indiana Code Capital Improvement Plan.
I have that.
We signed it twice.
We signed it twice.
You wanna go ahead and put it into the meeting?
This is a copy.
You have to
That's
end
Oh,
this
okay.
meeting, so
That's
you
for
can
you
start
then.
an executive meeting. You have to end this meeting, so you can start an executive.
You just want to do it now?
I don't mind, I don't mind, but we have to end this current meeting.
48 hours in advance.
I'd like to make a motion.
We have to
that-
do 48 hours in advance, is that what I just heard?
You have to notice the executive session 48 hours in advance.
Oh,
We have to
Yeah,
do-
so we can't have it.
okay, so we can't do it today.
Does it have to be executive session?
Yes.
It has to be.
If we're all three gonna be involved, yes.
I would think so.
I mean, we
Unless
can't
you
do it in
feel
a
like
regular board
discussing
meeting?
it at an
Well,
open
do you
meeting.
wanna, do you wanna?
I don't
do it
have a
in an
problem
open
with doing
meeting?
it. I have a problem doing it with an open meeting myself.
Okay. All right.
Do you? If
You
do
can
it, we
ask
can
us
do
to
it.
leave, we can leave.
No, I'm just at the
No.
point of, it's not on the agenda, so are we going to then add it to the agenda because it was not
well,
on the agenda or
union
part of
was
the
on
agenda?
Well, the union
So-
contract was,
Yeah.
but
Okay,
union contract is
if
on
you
the
want to,
agenda.
we'll get over and mess with it anymore, unless you want to do an executive. I'll wait.
I'd rather not drag it out
well, it sounds like. we're-
time-wise.
Okay,
No.
so you're wanting to meet right now for it?
Yeah, I'm willing
Okay.
to.
All right, go ahead.
Mickey, do you have the questions? Or does anybody have a copy of them?
The three things.
It's just the three things that I know of.
Right.
I've got two of them here, I might be a little fuzzy on the third.
There was,
One of them
nothing
was
else
the
in there, was there?
retirement that we would give, it's a post-employment benefit, is that what it's called? $2,000 a year for 5 years, so that our young retirees can pay for their Medicare, or until they get to Medicare. We have 8 people that are eligible to retire.
9 in July.
9 in July. Include somebody else?
Just raise
So how
numbers.
many
Just happens to know that number off the top of his
How
head.
many was that?
So the,
Nine.
No, I mean, how many years they want that for? 5?
so it's $2,000 a year for 5 years, so it's at 9, that's $18,000 more a year for 5 years as a post-employment benefit. My only comment, and I'll defer to Abby on this, is that it is a logistically, evidently Sugar Creek is doing it, and that's fine. Logistically, it is a bit of a nightmare to keep track of all of that stuff. Both the employee, if they move, if they die, then you've got a spouse to keep track of, I'm not, it's just, it's a lot. We can do it if you want. Money-wise, it obviously messes with our budget. It is my opinion that we have better benefits than anyone in the county.
I think that's what I keep hearing. Am I incorrect, am I wrong in what I'm hearing? Because that is what I keep hearing, is we have some of the best around. And so not only do I hear we have some of the best around, but now we're wanting to also match those who have lesser than what we currently have.
Yes. I don't know if it's appropriate that I insert my opinion here. I personally am not in favor of this, but you 3 trump me in spades. You can do what you want.
Here's my thought on it. Yeah, if you are self-employed, it makes a huge difference. If you're going to go work for a company, and I don't know where our firefighters land after they walk out the door here and retire, you're probably going to have an insurance benefit.
Especially if you retire early, before Medicare age.
Yeah.
They're gonna work somewhere that.
I'm
probably
thinking you
has-
work
But
here
you're also
25
getting- You're
years
also getting
and-
your retirement benefits starting right away, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
So
if
you have
retire
retirement
age,
benefits that are already kicking in.
So our retirement benefits is our pension, which at our current rate, if I retired in July, which I'm eligible to retire at 52, it's $1,400 a month. That's what I'll get if I retire July 19th of next year. It's $1,400 a month.
So-
Which he's not gonna do.
I do have a question though, and you might not have the answer for this. Is it Andy that works in our office? Okay, did he retire from a different fire department and then he now works for us? So he's getting his pension and he's working for us?
He's not old enough to draw.
Okay, so if you're old enough to draw, great. So are you able to draw and get another job at the same time? And, okay, is that the majority of what individuals try to do?
Some do, some don't.
Okay,
We'll leave that one on the table for a second. The second one was gym membership for spouses, which is another $32 per month.
For fire.
Per firefighter per month. Not all of them are married, so the problem is that is a little bit disproportionately, a benefit that's disproportionately given.
well, I'm not looking at disproportionately given. I'm looking at the facts that majority of the time when you start a gym membership and you sign on for a year, you're only gonna use it for 3 months. So I just don't see where the benefit of that would be.
And I'm not arguing with you, Jennifer. Is that typical what happens to most people? They use it for 3 months and disappear?
Yeah.
Those are,
Yes, that's why
Pretty
they run
good
all the
statistics.
specials in
Yeah.
January, February,
Okay.
March.
They run
and
all
I'm
the
not,
special.
I'm just, 'cause
New Year resolutions,
Okay.
they're yelling at people
exactly
coming.
right. Yep.
They signed up.
okay. And if we sign up, we're stuck with that
We're stuck.
for the whole year.
Well, and just my own 2 cents, once you add something, it's very
Hard
hard
to
to
take
take
it
it away.
back, yes.
So once you've added it, just assume that you'll probably have to do it.
And what I heard earlier is even our firefighters aren't participating in the current program.
We don't know.
Exactly confirm.
We're not
100%.
We
getting,
don't know because they're
we're not getting the
here.
data on that.
I don't track them on their off time, they
Right,
can't go on
right.
shift, so.
So, I mean, it's a great benefit, but, well, I see with what's happening coming down the line, we just don't have it to give.
One of the other things in the back, that they tacked on was,
2% match the employees 457.
yeah, that was not on the back, that did not make it into this, that was one of the things that they were asking for.
Yeah.
When we took on the 457, it was going to be zero cost to the township, we were offering that program.
Deduct it.
And that people could put it in, and we would administer the program, it doesn't cost us anything, and now they're asking for a 2% match on that. That was one of the other things that like I said, didn't make it into this. One of the things that did make it in is that the Protein Wellness contract, we're buying a certain number of sessions. And can you
I'm
expand
not
on
seeing
what
that one
those,
anywhere.
what
Have
that
you seen that
offers?
one?
So Protein Wellness is for our for mental health.
Yes.
So that is if someone has a problem, it doesn't have to be a work-related problem. We have a gentleman that uses it for an outside purpose, but it's just the mental health. So they have mental health and they have sleep studies, so, which firefighters, as we all know, don't get good sleep. So they offer that as well, and that's included into it of teaching you how to get better sleep and things like that. So basically, we're asking for, that is still in the contract where it isn't just a one and done thing that it is now. It would be in there yearly.
And we can buy, I don't know what it is, 5 visits at a time, 10 visits at a time, whatever. When we get to 4, we can buy the next 5 or
Okay,
whatever.
so
it
you
is.
buy it as units
Yes.
as needed, you
Yes,
don't have to
and the
overbuy.
unit, as I understand it too, that those don't expire. So if we buy 20 and only use 4, we're okay.
That's
Wasn't that
one
already
next
part of
year.
the budget?
What's that?
I thought that was already part of the
Yes.
budget.
It is. They just put it in here.
They're
as
just
a
wanting to make sure it
formality.
continues.
It continues, that's all.
Just
I'm
wanted
Okay.
to continue.
It's already,
So those were the 3
Yeah.
things that they added in red to the back of the, was the health premium assistance for retire, the $2,000 for 5 years. The protein wellness thing, and then the gym membership for spouses.
So they didn't
And the
want,
2% match.
The 2% match made it on the list to discuss, it didn't make it into the union
Contract.
contract draft that I got.
Okay.
The other things that they were talking about was something to do with the upping the amount of overtime hours that
Something
they can
they
put
can
into the
bank.
PEP account
Oh, okay.
at the end of the year. That's capped.
but that did not make it to the
It
contract?
did not.
Okay, so if it didn't make it to contract, let's not discuss it at
we
this
don't
time,
have to worry
please.
about it.
So let's just stick with what made it to contract, which is the
2,000.
Retirement.
retirement, the,
Protein.
and the gym.
membership.
And the protein's already there, basically.
I know, that's why I'm wondering why it was made it into the contract.
I think they
It's a-
wanted
It's a benefit.
the benefits.
And they want to include all of the benefits in the
In
contract
writing.
to make sure that they
Understand.
continues.
And the 2% is in the contract or not?
With the, no, it's not.
Do
And, I mean, the 3% increase, and then there was talk about going to 80,000 pension base, that didn't make it in either, but we did do
Okay.
the 3%.
Do we know how many sessions Brandon signed up for when he signed up with that?
I do not know.
Can't remember either. I thought he
Okay.
said, but
Yeah.
I'm sure he did
I
say,
don't remember.
we
I
have
can't remember
had
that
several
number.
people
Was it
take
20?
advantage of that
I
already.
don't know. When we sign up for sessions, is it, like, so we're gonna say we want 5 sessions, and those 5 sessions is like 5 sessions for each individual?
I'm not sure exactly how it
No.
works, honestly.
Okay,
So the sessions, it doesn't mean that I get 5 sessions, Brandon would get 5. To say there's a pool of 20,
mm-hmm,
and it just, everybody pulls out of that
Oh,
pool.
okay.
I think what they were saying in the contract, and I could be misspoken, is they just want to make sure whatever set amount, if we say we're getting 20 sessions a year in the contract, it wanted to be in there where every year it's in there. So let's say a new trustee comes in and goes, well, we're not paying for that, you don't need mental health, which there's a gentleman in Johnson County that got in trouble for saying something not the other day, about mental health. It is a very important thing. So they just want that in there, so somebody else comes in and goes, we're not doing that. Well, the contract says you gotta keep a pool of mental health.
and that's just for
mental health
the
sessions.
active firefighters, right?
Yes, for full time, but it is
So
not
Jim
capped.
can't go?
So it's
We're on
not,
our own.
it's not just for the full-time firefighters, it's basically what it's set for was for the full-time, but if we have a part-time person that needs help, we can pull from that and send them as well.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So, I mean, I personally have not been involved, but I've had some friends that have been involved in some serious accidents. And mental wellness, I think is an important part
Just as
of,
important as physical.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
disagree at all. I
Yeah.
honestly, the reason why I was questioning any of this is because I felt like it's already in the budget, it's already taken care of.
Yeah.
I also
Okay.
hear the concern that if they feel somebody new comes in, it could be pulled from them. So I can see why they want to put into a different contract, so it's actually secured. So I can understand where they're coming from.
Just enumerating a benefit.
Yeah.
Sure, I get it.
do we want to discuss the other issues at hand, or?
Those were the only three that made it to the contract.
Yeah, let's just
Okay.
discuss what made it to contract.
I think, low hanging fruit, gym membership for spouses.
No.
No.
It's fine. Retirement benefits, $2,000 times 5 years for each retiree.
No,
I'm pretty edgy on that one, yeah.
I'm just,
The only reason I appreciate having this discussion is so that when I go into negotiations, I can give them a realistic point of view from the board, so they don't come in and then we've got to revise it, and then they got to come back and all of that, so.
So, from a firefighter's perspective, since you're the firefighter in the room,
Yeah, I think the last time you were here, you were in a hot seat.
No,
yeah,
how important on a score of 1 to 10 is that benefit?
for me,
Oh, for the average firefighter?
I should tell you.
He's not going to answer on the behalf of others.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm not gonna speak on something on another person's behalf. For me, it's not that big of a thing. My wife works for the federal government. She's still got another 12 years before she can retire.
And you're well covered.
So, that would get me to my social security age. For other people, it could be a very big thing, so.
Do most
Our
firefighters,
ultimately retires at 52, and, you know, some people at 52 years old, they're walking. So,
are they walking because they can?
it's a
Or-
rough life.
yeah.
And just in the mental health and the physical, and just the sleep, and, you know, we don't do very many runs, we're not comparable to IFD, but at 52, you're tired. I'm tired every day, and I'm not on the truck for the last 2 years, so.
Yeah, you've got
It's
a
mental
quote
for
unquote
me,
desk job,
for
but.
it's physical. Getting up in the middle of the night and doing runs is very hard on your body. So,
The mental health thing, I'm all for,
Yeah,
because I think they need it,
So we're all in favor of the mental health.
yes,
yeah.
I don't have the
Mental health, I'm
protein
good with.
wellness, yay.
yes.
Gym memberships,
No,
nay.
No.
and the reason for that is, I don't think half of the department uses it now. I just know from
It's just not
watching
measurable.
other places.
If that was
And so-
measured and you could say, hey, look, here's, you know, we had some physical numbers and guys would say, hey, if my wife was joining me, it would even be better, then I might consider it, but.
Well, right now, we're paying for the individual that works here, so the wife, I mean, technically, they're getting a discount. So I think we're good there. And then
I have no problem with the 2% match,
We're not doing
Yep.
that. That's not
It's
on
not
the
even in there.
that's not
but
even,
it's not there.
that's
But
not
if that
there.
came up again, I would,
This is the 2,000 a year.
Yeah.
I,
yeah.
2,000 a year is a no
yeah,
for me.
I'd have to be no against that too, because we're already paying for a whole retirement package, and they contribute nothing. So where does it stop then? The next,
Well,
you know, we keep,
It's a valid
you know,
point.
they're gonna have to take something out of their pocket sometime if they want more retirement money. I
Hear
mean,
you, and we'll speak on your behalf in negotiation discussions over the next couple of weeks.
okay,
Hopefully, we will get those ironed out. There were some, in my opinion, there were a couple of things in the contract that it was worded differently than what we're doing it in practice. And so those were some of the other things that I had asked him to change.
Okay.
I want that to be as close to what we're exactly doing One of them
Yeah,
had to
'cause
do with
once you
like,
say yes, it's,
it had
It's
to
in
do
there.
something with the paid date, changing if there was a holiday, whatever. Well, we don't, the banks and payroll professionals sanctions that.
I remember seeing that. I mean, I thought it was nitty, but it's
Well, I
fine.
don't want it, I mean, I can't be held responsible for that when I don't have any control over when the holiday falls, when the banks are closed, or when payroll professionals is gonna, you know. If they have a fire at their office and we deposit
Right.
on Saturday as opposed to Friday, I don't wanna be in violation of the union contract.
and them,
Okay,
them
yeah.
things are all over the board anyway, depends on what bank you're at. There's
Okay.
people that, we get paid on Wednesday, every other Wednesday, there's some people get paid on Monday, and some, on Tuesday, and then some on Wednesday, so.
So there were some of those other things, I'm just letting you know, there were a couple other things that in practice were a little bit worded differently, and those are the only other things that are still kind of on the table.
Yeah, they were highlighted. I remember reading
Yeah,
them. Okay,
Can I make a motion to adjourn?
sure can.
second.
Been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Favor,
Aye.
Aye, aye.
7:13. 7:13.
Randy,
Oh.
withdrawal.